By 2030, 1 in 5 Americans will be over the age of 65. As our population ages, fitness professionals have the incredible opportunity to not just help seniors exercise more, but to help them live healthier, more independent lives. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to IFTA's YouTube channel. This is Spencer, and today we're going to walk through why senior fitness is so important, the benefits of staying active as we age, and how fitness professionals can create a lasting impact. Aging is a natural process. Everybody has to go through this. But this is where fitness and physical activity, exercise, wellness, they all come into play together. They can help reduce the natural processes that occur as one ages. Some of these natural processes include a reduction in muscle mass, which is called sarcopenia when it's related to age, a reduction in bone mineral density, meaning that the bones become more brittle, decreased balance, decreased reaction time, reduced cardiovascular function. Think of the metric as VO2 max, for example, that will greatly decrease. In addition to increased joint stiffness and joint pain. Now, with all this said and done, it is bound to happen as we age, but they can be reduced by physical activity. This is the good news. As long as the guidelines for physical activity are followed, these older adults in the aging population are going to be able to maintain their independence and their autonomy, which is a major goal of this population. Now let's take a look at the benefits of physical activity for older adults. First off, let's take a look at the physical benefits. There are so many of them, and I'll list them off rapid fire. But we see increased strength, of course, increased balance, increased flexibility, mobility. We see an increase in cardiovascular function. In addition to increasing bone health, which means the bones become a little bit denser, which is great because that reduces fracture risk and fall risk just because the balance, mobility, and flexibility are all increased. There's also so many mental benefits as well, from reduced anxiety and depression to increased confidence. The list can go on and on, but it doesn't stop there. We see an increase in mood and overall cognitive function as well, and this contributes to the social benefits, especially when it relates to reduction, isolation, and loneliness, because community outreach is increased, and accountability also increases, and all of these contribute to an increased quality of life. When it comes to the health of any population, the number one goal is maintaining a quality of life. It's definitely important to take a look at what's preventing older adults from engaging in physical activity regularly. Let's take a look at some common myths that are presented among this population, and let's bust them. So myth number one is, I'm too old to start working out. Well, the short answer, it's never too late, honestly. But the younger you start working out, the easier it's going to be to move later on in life. That's why balance and mobility is so critical and incorporated in many older adult workouts, because this plays into everyday living. And that's also called functional training, which is one of the most important and beneficial exercises that any age group can engage in. But it is never too late for older adults to engage in functional training, strength training, cardiovascular training, because the body is very capable, if you give it the opportunity, to adapt and become accustomed to that workload. Myth number two is that older adults shouldn't engage in strength training. Now, let me tell you, this statement is crazy. It is so false. Strength training is probably one of the most important forms of physical activity that older adults can engage in, and the benefits of it are astronomical. Probably the most critical one is that it increases bone mineral density. And so when you have bigger bones, stronger bones, you're going to have a reduced fall risk. That means you're going to reduce your risk of fractures. And just the list is endless. Strength training should be incorporated 2+ days per week, and of course, the plan is going to be adapted to the individual, but older adults should not avoid strength training. The final myth, myth 3, is that exercise has to be intense to work. While intensity is important, this is not entirely true. Frequency is going to trump intensity in the case of the older adult population. If you've ever heard of the FIT principle, frequency, intensity, time, and type, this principle ties into how to program a workout. And intensity is important for some populations, especially those who are engaged in hybrid training or don't have the time to train multiple times a week. But for older adults, they should be aiming for 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity per week. If we do that by 5 days a week, then we have 30 minutes every day. So as you can see, being physically active in your older age is very attainable, and it's even encouraged. So don't be afraid to start training even if you feel like you're too old, or if your client gives you some resistance. Encourage it and find the right program that tailors to your client, to those you work with, or the classes you teach. Because if working out is fun, then it's going to be engaged in more. All right, so the myths are busted, benefits are listed. Now, what's the role of the fitness professional? Well, fitness professionals are going to play multiple roles, wear multiple hats when it comes to encouraging and promoting um, senior fitness. So, first off, they are going to build confidence in their clients and their classes. And the reason being is that their role is to not just encourage and implement physical activity, but to increase independence and autonomy. So, confidence is key. You want to encourage those you work with that they can do any exercise that you give them, that they are capable. And this is going to help increase movement quality. That's another major role of a fitness professional. They are there to implement a safe and effective program, and also safe and effective workouts and range of movement. In addition to all that I just said, fitness professionals are going to be able to implement education into their programming. They're going to be able to educate on healthy nutrition and exercise habits that can be long lasting, well beyond the time that the trainer has with the individual. And this is going to allow the older adult population to continually increase their knowledge of why they should engage in physical activity, in addition to continuing on with those habits. As a fitness professional, working with older adults is a special population to work with, and that comes with some key considerations. First off, it is very important to receive medical clearance, specifically if there's been any cardiovascular health complications or diseases such as metabolic disease. So these are important to look at just because it could hinder them from fully engaging in your program and, of course, performing all those exercises safely. And in reference to programming, it is so important to individualize your program. And this may come with doing some key assessments, but you cannot have a program that's one size fits all for older adults. Because just like working with any other individual, they're going to have their own needs and their own goals, past experience, or maybe a lack of past experience. So you need to look at that and build the program based on what your clients need. A proper program should follow healthy and safe progression, of course. But for older adults, you should focus on functional training, which, as I described earlier, are those movements that can help in everyday life, such as squatting and deadlifts utilizing dumbbells and even body weight. Functional training is so important and it's so beneficial. I perform it regularly and I can see the benefits in my life already. In addition to that functional training, focus on balance and mobility, flexibility, all while monitoring intensity and hydration needs. Hydration is so very important for older adults because as we age, we lose our thirst receptors and our ability to detect if we are thirsty. So encourage water breaks and encourage hydration, even if your clients say they don't need water. Hydration is an important recovery tactic, and that means encouraging other important recovery habits as well, such as stretching and warming up, cooling down. These should all be part of your program. With all this being said, you may be wondering, how can I work with this population as a fitness trainer? Well, good news, IFTA has a Senior Fitness Specialty certification for $199. Not only is it affordable, but you'll be able to jump into a growing field and a career that is in demand. It's not only rewarding, but you're directly improving lives, and having that specialty certification sets you apart from other fitness trainers. All right, so we know we can't escape aging, but we do know that we can age in a healthy and even exciting way, and that's all thanks to exercise. Promoting and implementing senior fitness is going to come with physical, mental, and social benefits, which all increase quality of life, independence, and autonomy in this population, which are all major goals and benefits. That increase in independence and quality of life is all thanks to the fitness professionals working with this population. And if you want to become a senior fitness specialist, you can get your certification at IFTA. You can join this industry and make a lasting change. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you were able to learn lots about the senior fitness industry. If you would like to learn more about IFTA certification, check the link down below that takes us to the website and the certification. Definitely like, subscribe, and share this video if you want to see more educational videos, more fun tips and tricks, and what being a fitness professional and trainer looks like.